today. So every day we start fresh because we can't affect the past, but we damn sure can make a difference today.
Welcome to episode 97 of Shop Talk. It's Jennifer,
I'm Kari.
and we're joined by our friends Holly and Brittany tonight. Say hello.
Hi.
Hi.
To discuss the rookie characters, love languages, and astrological signs. We thought this would be a fun episode to do with being so close to season 6, literally 2 weeks out. Disclaimer though, we are just having fun with this, so there may be some wrong astrological sign definitions, descriptions. We're just kind of going with it. We found an article on shape.com, and so we're kind of using that as our base. So we do have some news though. Kari, do you want to take us through the first bit?
Oh yeah, I mean, since it's been a while since we've actually recorded, obviously the season 6 trailer was released last week, so that was really exciting. It featured sort of a recap of season 5, or like where they left off in the finale, within some new clips for season 6 added in, including the most talked about Chenford clip, which has been endlessly gifted on Twitter. So that's fun.
Yeah. And then we also have a 601 episode description. This dropped yesterday, I believe, and it's titled Strike Back. It says, in the aftermath of the assaults in the explosive season 5 finale, the team must now try to understand why they're now targeted and if there is a bigger plan in place. Meanwhile, Nolan must survive his last shift before his wedding to Bailey. Exciting stuff. I don't know. When they say survive his last shift, I get a little worried, but also it's Nolan. He'll make it out. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and then promo photos dropped yesterday as well. Obviously there was lots of Nolan, but he's like working with Selena a lot too. And then we had Bailey in one as well. And then of course, Wesley and Angela and their new baby, and like Gray and Nyla were working back at the station, and we even got a couple of Chenford photos as they were talking to Wesley. So yeah.
I just love everything. Like, it's coming back. It feels like all is right in the world. So, and then Eric has recruited Alyssa and Makia to join TikTok, which is amazing. They put out a couple of TikToks and they're so good. The one of like Eric, Melissa, Makia, and they're all like standing together then is great. And Melissa also opened up her cameo again, and everyone's excited about that. I think she hit the limit of like how many she can do, and so it's now temporarily unavailable again, but she's also been pretty active on TikTok too. She like created a new account. So the rookie cast is on TikTok. A lot of them are. I think the only 2 that aren't or 3 is True, Richard, and Nathan. So but with that, we'll go ahead, and I wanted to ask Holly and Brittany what their favorite ship was, and their favorite character or characters, because I'm curious.
Me.
Yeah, Holly and I are both pointing at each other. Go, Holly.
Okay. Favorite ships, obviously Chenford, because how can you not pick them?
Yes.
And then Lopez.
Good. What about characters?
Definitely Lucy. Definitely Nyla. I love her sass. And Angela too.
Yeah.
Basically all the women.
That is the correct answer. No, just kidding.
I mean, she's not wrong. She
Yeah, she's
literally
not.
said the same answers I did, or I was going to. Because yeah, I mean, Chenford, obviously you can't be friends with Hugh Jen without saying Chenford. I would be in trouble. And then Lopez, for sure. And then yeah, for me it's the ladies, for multiple reasons. But yeah, it's definitely Angela, Nyla, and Lucy are my 3. So give me the badass ladies.
We need more of them.
Yes.
Sneak peek to my wish list for season 6. Kari, do you want to take us through your first, like, maybe 2 picks or something for the love language? I kind of grouped them by like ships. So
yeah. So for me, well, for Balin anyway, so like for John, I had said quality time, and then for Bailey, I had said acts of service. I don't really know, like I don't really have a lot of like reasoning as to why I picked certain ones. I just felt like since John's like away from some of his family, like I feel like he would just like quality time with Bailey, or like just especially since they're planning their wedding.
Mhm.
And then I don't know, I felt like since Bailey does everything, like literally, whether it's
Yeah.
like her jobs or like hobbies and things, I just kind of felt like she might like, things to be done, like for her, or, just like little acts of service, I guess.
Yeah. What about your love language picks, Brittany, for Balin?
Oof.
Sorry, should I not have called on you?
No, you're totally fine. I'm sitting here staring at them. Also, for anyone who doesn't know the five love languages, they are words of
Yes.
affirmation, acts of service. Uh, so words of affirmation, acts of service, gift giving or gift receiving, quality time, and physical touch. So those are the five love languages for anyone that doesn't
Yes.
know them.
I should have went over that. My
Um,
bad.
you're fine. I I know them, but I know that not everyone does. Um, I have to agree that I think Bailey's is acts of service, but I feel like a very close second is quality time. Like I feel like it's like acts of service, but like right underneath it is quality time.
Mhm.
Um, and then I actually agree that I think that Nolan's is quality time. So those are I would actually agree with Carrie on those.
Holly, what about yours?
I had the same thing. I had quality
Mhm.
time for both of them because I feel like most of the time, like we see them at home, like hanging
Yeah.
out on the couch, not
Mm-hmm.
really doing a lot, but they're together.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Agreed.
What about Bailey's?
I had quality time for her.
Yeah, I could see
I
it.
kind of feel like they're both alike,
Hmm.
which may explain why they're together.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of feel like Balin is John's like best relationship. Obviously longest one, but we've seen
Hmm.
more of it and I feel like it's grown more.
I
I
think
said
we've seen him
quality,
grow a lot with
yeah.
I think we've seen him
Oh,
grow a lot with Bailey
yeah.
over the course of the show. And so I think she's been able to like navigate in there and like
Hmm.
make him a better man in a way.
She's
Like
kind of mellowed him out.
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
calmed him down, mellowed him out. Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't say he was neurotic before, but he was always kind of hesitant before. So I feel like
Yeah.
she's kind of like mellowed that out and like kind of showed him that you don't have to be like nervous all the time for something.
Yeah. And I think him being in like or her also being in a another first responder, I think
Hmm.
provides a level of understanding that like someone who's not a first responder um wouldn't get.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Because before he stated like what, a lawyer or something like that, and then Dr. Grace.
Doctor?
So
Yeah.
yeah. For mine, I said quality time for John. I feel like that's just a given. Because again, we've seen them at home, we've seen them kind of like hanging out, doing challenges, acts of service for him. I just feel like he always goes like the extra mile for people in his life. And then for Bailey, I said words of affirmation. And I think it would just be because like I feel like she is someone who likes like a bunch of motivational things. Um, I don't know. She's done a lot of different jobs, so I feel like she finds ways to kind of like hype herself up and like tell herself that she can do those things. And then for her, I also said quality time too, because I feel like I don't know. I feel like at least with John, she's like that, but I feel like she also goes that extra mile with Selena and then any of the others that we've seen her with. So, what about Chenford? Who wants to go first? I feel like they're easy, like to talk about love language wise.
Okay, well, for Tim, I had physical touch.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it.
Season 5 Chenford right there. Everything
Well,
about
and I
that.
was even just thinking like all the way back in season 2 where when he pulls Lucy out of the barrel and he's like gripping her
Yeah.
in that moment because he needs to be touching her and he needs to like know that she is okay. Like that moment is like, I mean, that's the iconic moment that everyone remembers for Chenford, right? It's like, but like he needs to be touching her.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's absolutely physical touch.
Even in like season 1, like when they were still just partners, she was his boot. Like it was still like he was like, I'm gonna, make sure that you're good. Obviously, that's his job, but he kind of went that extra mile with it. So
I think it like grounds him.
yeah. It like reminds him that he's like okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. I had acts of service for him too. I feel like that's kind of an easy one to just put with anyone, but I feel like for Tim, I don't know, he likes having things done for him. He likes doing things for others. He might not like be happy about it a lot of the time, but I mean, I think back to the audiobook with Chenford in like season 2 or season 1 where it was like she did that for him and then like he kind of returned to the favor and gave her the ring back and then also the necklace um like in season 2, and I feel like that kind of goes in line with receiving gifts too, receiving and giving gifts. So
Mhm.
yeah. What about yours, Carrie? What did you have for Tim?
Oh, I had physical touch for Tim. Just yeah, I don't even it's like I mean, like Brittany said, even like early in earlier seasons, I mean like even like when Lucy like was literally dragging him across the ground after he got shot, it just like shows that like they are literally like tethered together
Yeah.
since day one pretty much. And so I feel like what has already also been said, like it grounds him. So yeah. And then Lucy, I don't know. I just thought Lucy, just words of affirmation. I just feel like she, I don't know, just like, I mean, not that she's not confident because she is, but I think she just appreciates that like extra little, like, you know, people notice, notice that she does things or like notice when she does things well or, just like
Yeah.
that just extra little thing because she's always lifting, other people up. So I feel like she would like the same thing.
Yeah. I said like words of affirmation and acts of service together because I feel like you said she'll go that extra mile for people too, like the little paper trophies, the audiobook, making sure that someone, is fine, taking care of tomorrow, like all of those. She'll make sure that she um takes care of those people.
Yeah,
What
I think
about
words of affirmation, sorry, I think words of affirmation is what she needs.
mm-hmm.
And I think what she does is acts of service.
Yeah.
I think that is Lucy Chen. Is I think she needs that words of
Yeah.
affirmation. But like, yeah, what she like puts back out into the world is those acts of service.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Which is
sure.
why I see why it's like for so many of these, it's like whether they're like we've written them down or we just have it kind of in our heads. It's like so many of them are gonna on some level be acts of service because they're first responders, right? Like
Yeah.
on some level, whether it's like they, receive it or they give it is going to be an act of service because it's just that calling. When you're a first responder, that calling is an act of service.
Yeah.
But it's like, what is that other level that's, your need? So your
Yeah.
love language need.
Yeah, I feel like Lucy could almost fit into any of these love languages because I feel like she's a dynamic character. So you're gonna find a love language in some way for her in all of these. But yeah, so what about Wesley? I mean, my favorite guy.
Well, then you have to go first.
Oh, I had quality time.
Yes.
Quality time for sure. I think back to Lopez murder boarding, staying at home when baby Jack was a baby, and like, just chilling, trying to do the parenting thing. And then words of affirmation. Again, I feel like he gives those or he kind of expects them, but then also will like give them out to Angela. And then acts of service, him being a lawyer, you know, he's obviously gonna like serve his community like that. But I think he also likes to go out of his way to do acts of service that aren't necessarily like his job description. Like he'll, you know, help with the support with the community center with like James. And just kind of help where needed in the police station, even if it's not lawyer stuff. So,
Mhm.
what about yours, Carrie?
I said quality time for Wesley. Um, I actually went like back and forth with like quite a few of these. Like the first, I guess, four were like relatively easy. And then
Yeah.
like Lopez I went back and forth on, and then like Nyla and James I kind of went back and forth on too. But yeah, quality time I finally ended up there um for Wesley. So
What was yours, Holly, for Wesley?
I had quality time for him as well. I think he just seems like a pretty simple guy. Like he doesn't really need much at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like
Agreed.
we kind of learned that when Angela found out that he was rich. He's like, I don't need all of this. Like I can just live on the simple things. So,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like he came from such a like big life, but he doesn't really identify with that. He doesn't need all of that extra stuff.
Yeah.
yeah,
You'd never know it that he came from money. Like he doesn't
right.
act like he comes from money.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, oh, yeah. By the way, oops. Yeah, there's all that money there.
Yeah. I feel like Angela though, like on the flip side, is definitely like physical touch. I don't know. Something about her just makes me feel like she's a physical touch person. I feel like we haven't really seen it, but I don't know. I feel like she is. And then maybe like acts of service. Like when Wesley was going through all that with Elijah, like she was getting like upset with it, rightfully so, but also like she wasn't used to someone doing something for her. She's always used to doing other stuff, like stuff for other people. So I don't know. What were some of yours for Angela?
I had acts of service for her.
Holly,
I
you
get
and I are literally one brain.
well that, and I had receiving gifts.
I
I
was gonna
don't know
say,
which
yeah.
one comes first, but I was thinking more, I guess, like last season when she was pregnant and how like when Aaron would step up and do all sorts of stuff for her,
Yeah.
like it was like a big relief on her for someone to do that.
Yeah. But I think it also goes like hand in hand because she also couldn't stop. Like
Yeah.
like Wesley would find her and she'd be like, no, I'm not on the phone with Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about honey.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, yes, of like that act of service that she just like needs to be providing that service. Like she needs to be doing that. Like that is her calling, but also it is like her love. Like she's able to provide and just show and give her love. Is like I would say I think Angela probably one of the most on this list is like her love language is acts of service.
Mm-hmm.
Like is her kind of like number one and not like a second or third tier. Like I think for Angela above
Yeah.
more than the others is like her first one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I had receiving gifts too because I thought of in season one when like Jackson goes to go get the food from the food truck and she's like, "What'd you get me?" Or that time that like he went in somewhere to like get a burrito and she was like, "What, you didn't get me one?" Or it was something like that and I was just kind of like, "That's receiving gifts." Like, you know,
Mm.
she doesn't really ask for it. She just kind of assumes. Um, but yeah, so. And then I put down James and Nyla just because they're another ship on the show, but I know you guys were questioning who James was
Did
at
I
some
make my
point.
confession?
Sorry,
Listen,
I
I'm
outed you
on
right
like
there.
4 hours of sleep to all of you listeners. It's been
To
a
be
long
fair, we
day.
don't see James a whole lot though. Like we do, but he's not like a main character. So
It took me a couple minutes to remember who
yeah.
he was. And then I realized you had the list organized in couples, and
Mhm.
then it clicked for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't staring at the list. She just said, "Oh, it took me a minute to remember who James is." And I was talking to a James at work, and I was like, "Huh?" And so my very tired brain was like, "What are we talking about?" And
Yeah.
so, yeah, full confession,
I
listeners.
believe your
It's been a
response was
day.
DA guy.
Oh, yeah, my response was the DA guy?
Michael Trucco? That's who plays
Potable
No,
him.
Cooper?
no, I knew it wasn't Truco. The one that was like hooking up with Lucy back in season 5 before
Oh,
she
Chris,
got with
yeah.
that's his
Chris.
name. And I was like, why is he on this list? But sure, DA guy question mark? That was yeah. There's my full confession, listeners. You're all welcome.
So what would you say would be his like love language? I mean, you don't totally know him that much. We don't even really like we see him, but it's not like that much. So
I think he's definitely an acts of service guy because like he
Mhm.
runs the community center, like and I feel like there's a lot of other layers to him, but like he's like that's where we first meet him, right? It's like
Yeah.
at the community center and like being in all these kids' lives and like being that figure for all of them.
Mhm.
It's like, and he's just providing all of these services for him, for all of them. And that's what brings him joy and like fills his cup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think it's definitely acts of service.
definitely. That's his purpose in life.
Yeah. I feel like even when Nyla was pregnant too, like he was always finding ways to do like more things for her. I mean, as he should, like being her husband, she's carrying your child, but it was still like, hey, what can I do? Also, you need to like sit down and not work yourself to death with being pregnant too. So,
And it never felt like a burden where he's like, oh,
no.
my wife is pregnant. I have to do this for her
Yeah.
because she can't do it. He's like, no, honey, let me help you.
Yeah.
I don't really know how he likes to like the way he receives stuff, like what he wants though.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, we
access
haven't
service
really
is
seen
definitely
that.
him to everybody else, but I
Yeah.
don't know what he needs.
Yeah, we haven't really seen that. We just kind of see him being like a second character to Nyla, like kind of like a right-hand man in a way. I would like to like see like a side storyline for him that like either spans on for a couple of episodes or just is a good part of one episode, just to kind of like really get to know him, especially with him like being around more, being Nyla's husband. Like I feel like we need to kind of get to know him better. So,
If I had to guess, I feel like words of affirmation, like
mhm.
he seems to appreciate people checking in, like so he knows what's happening and he's not in the dark on
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of one of them for him too. But what about yours, Carrie?
Oh, I said acts of service. I mean, pretty much for all the reasons that have already been
Yeah.
said. Um, I just feel like that's his, at least the one that I like came to the easiest for him was acts of service.
Yeah. And
Do we all
then
share a brain? We're like on the nose on all of these in agreement.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be really bad if like we see in season 6 that James is like not an acts of service. We're like, oh yeah, we had him pegged as that. No. I mean, I guess it's all subjective too, right? Like we could be seeing something different than anyone else could be seeing. So, and then we have Nyla, which like I don't know if attitude or badassery was on this list, she would be right out there. I mean, yeah. I had quality time for her because I feel like she definitely she tries to spend time with everyone, but like and tries to make the most of it, but will also let them know that like she's in charge.
Mhm.
Like she's gonna call the shots. So, what would you guys say for Nyla?
I had
Yeah.
quality time for her as well
Yeah.
because I feel like she's very like she's family oriented when she's with family, or if it's like
Mhm.
work, she is with those people, and like she's intentional with whoever she's with and
Yeah.
whatever the
Yeah.
situation is.
And
Yeah,
if
she's
like she
intentional.
hasn't been in the past, she definitely makes an effort to show that she is now, like with Lila's stuff in what season 4. So,
Mhm.
and then we have Aaron Thorson, who is just one of like the best additions to the show, in my eyes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What was Holly? I know you like him. What was your like love language thoughts for him?
I had a hard time with this one because, like, even though I love him, I feel like we don't really know him all that
Mhm.
well as a person.
Yeah.
I put receiving gifts,
That's what I said too.
Okay.
but I don't really know if I have a concrete reason why that is.
Yeah.
My other one for him was quality time because he seems to get a lot of joy from being with people. Like he's always
Yeah.
like at parties or like with Selena, like hanging out or whatever. So
Hmm.
I don't know. That's my thoughts.
He was
Yeah,
really eager to like hang with Nyla and Angela too. Like,
mhm.
so yeah, he definitely likes quality time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like I could see the gifts. I feel like I want to lean more towards quality time. Just obviously, for maybe it was like I feel like it might have been gifts when he was a little bit younger, and
Hmm.
then as he's
Maybe
gotten
he shows
older,
it through gifts because he has the money
yes, because he
for it.
has the money.
Yeah.
And then like now it's like because of what he's been through, he's like, I know that that's not all it's cracked up to be. I want to spend time with like these people,
Hmm.
with like his D&D nights with Selena, or like we've said, when he's like hanging out with Nyla and Angela, or like he's also very intentional with that time, or even if he's at a party, like he tries to be present in those moments and just spend that time with those people,
Yeah.
and soak up that, and like even just like when he's with his different like training officers, or like he's soaking up all of that information. So I definitely think it's quality time. That's where I want to lean more with him. But yeah, he's definitely one of the harder ones to peg down for sure.
Yeah, I feel like similar to James, like especially with Aaron being around. I mean, I don't know, the rookie account has kind of spoiled it, but I feel like we need like a good storyline or two to really dig into him more than we have already and like learn more about his personality, not so much about like his past life, like what makes him him now, you know? Yeah, I had acts of service and quality time too, just because I mean, for all the reasons that were said, but I also feel like I mean, even like when he's partnered up with Lucy and Tim, like he's still checking in on them. He's still making sure that they're okay. So and then Selena Juarez, another one of my faves. I don't know. I had words of affirmation for her and acts of service, but I also had quality time because I thought of all the Balin and Selena stuff last season, and she's always around Balin, like as a couple, it seems like. So I figured that she likes spending quality time with them. But what about you guys? Holly, did you have any thoughts on Selena?
I had words of affirmation for her because I feel like she lights up when like if people let her know she's done a good job or she made the right
Hmm.
decision on something or
Mhm.
things like that.
What about yours, Carrie?
Yeah, I had words of affirmation. Well, like for a couple of people, I had like and or
Hmm.
for there. So like Selena, I had words of affirmation and or physical touch, just because like she's in touch with the like spiritual side of things, but like also like because it's not really words, it's like what's not said, and like the
Yeah.
metaphysical of the world. And so I feel like she likes to talk things through and talk about things and,
Hmm.
like just explain her reasons for why she, is doing these things. And we found out a lot about her background. So it's like, I just feel like those two things kind of match her well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Brittany, give me your thoughts on Selena.
Oh yeah, she's a words of affirmation girl.
Yeah.
Like I agree with everything everybody said, but like, yeah, that's words of affirmation girl through and through.
I feel like she kind of showed that like from when she first started too. She was kind of like, I need some kind of validation here. Especially just being so new. So what about Gray? He was like the hardest one for me. I don't know why.
I
Carrie,
put
did you have
quality
any?
time for
Oh,
him
quality time. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because he seems like such a family guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. That's what I was thinking too when I put quality time, just because I mean, I feel like even though we haven't had a lot of like, Gray and John like, bonding moments like lately, they have bonded over their kids before and like, that they want to spend time with their families. And
Yeah.
so yeah, just thought that especially since we'll hopefully see Luna more in season 6, so I think that that'll be good. So then he can hopefully spend time with her as well.
I didn't realize that Angel Parker is in that Recruit Netflix series that Alexi Holly does too. Like I saw her in the
Oh,
cast list and I was like, oh, I didn't know she was in that. So yeah,
I did not either.
it's kind of cool crossing over in worlds. Um, Brittany, what was your thoughts on Gray?
I think I agree with the quality time because he's definitely a family man and
Mm-hmm.
he like takes care of his team and like even like around um oh my brain is shot. The
Around the
precinct.
team? Yeah.
Yeah, but like around the precinct, like he
Mm-hmm.
wants to spend time with them. But I think he's another one that's like definitely acts of service. Um, just in the sense of like the way he like gives back to the community. Like you
Yeah.
see it in little ways. It's not like, oh, it's like this big thing, but like you see it in just the way he does his job. Um, and has since he's gotten there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's like his like second tier. Like it's like
Yeah.
1 and 2. So I think that's what it is. But I
Yeah.
definitely agree with quality time.
I feel like a subset for him with acts of service is just like caring for others. Like, because he's always, I mean, granted, he's the watch commander, like he's sergeant, like he needs to like make sure that everyone's good, but like he goes the extra mile, he'll pull them aside, he'll make sure that they're okay, like get them the help that they need. So I feel like like that's his subset of acts of service is definitely caring, and making sure that everyone is good. So then we have astrological signs. So there's like 12 of those. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So kind of go through and give our thoughts on those. Again, we could be totally speaking out of line on this. We're just doing this for fun because, we want to do another episode before all the new season stuff starts. So, Carrie, what was your astrology pick for John Nolan?
Um, his was kind of a little bit difficult. Like I had Tim and Lucy's were like the easiest ones,
Hmm.
and then like Gray was pretty easy for me, but like John, I mean, I like went back and forth between a few things, but then as soon as I saw like Capricorn's like characteristics, I thought that fit him, especially the like traditional, like disciplined, industrious for
Yeah.
sure. Um, I just thought that like fit him really well.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
What was yours, Holly, for John?
I said the same. I had Capricorn.
Yeah.
Definitely the traditional, like he's just like the stereotypical first responder type guy when you think about him. And then I saw like one of the characteristics was like the desire to succeed, which seems to really
Hmm.
fit for him. I mean, to change careers at 40 or whatever. and really be driven to like do that and go all in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Brittany, you're gonna like mine. I said that he was a Leo because
Oh,
he's,
really?
yeah, I don't know. I
Interesting.
just like, I don't know, I got the vibe. I don't know, I feel like he's optimistic, especially in the earlier seasons. Like, I mean, I feel like people called him out on it. Like he was always giving people the benefit of the doubt. Like even the
Mhm.
criminals that he had handcuffed, he was like giving them the benefit of the doubt. Looking for the good in people, leading the charge. I would say he's more of a leader than a follower. So yeah, that was kind of my thoughts for him on being a Leo. Brittany, I'm curious about yours though. What did you think for John? Or like what are you thinking he
I was
could
gonna say
be?
again, couple hours sleep. I am flying by the seat of my pants over here. I don't know as I can't say as the resident Leo because obviously you are also a Leo,
Oh,
but
you're more Leo than I am.
as the outspoken resident Leo
Hmm.
of the group over here, I don't know if I would consider him a Leo, but
Okay.
I feel like he could be one of those where it's like you're seeing the like other side of the
Hmm.
Leo in him. Um, I definitely feel like I'm leaning more towards the Capricorn side. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I'm leaning more towards Holly and Carrie on this. That I think he is a Capricorn.
Yeah.
Watch, he's like a Pisces or something, which I don't actually think at all.
Yeah.
Well, because we don't know a lot of their birthdays.
Right.
Right, right.
I
So
don't even know if we
we
know
are
any of
flying blind by
theirs.
the seat of our pants over here.
Yeah.
Because that's why they never tell us their birthdays
But I feel
on
like
TV
they could
shows.
be like cusp. Like he could be like a Leo cusp, but Capricorn. Or like you could be like in his big
Those
three.
two are
Like who
not at all
knows?
next to each other in the astrological sign.
No, but it could be on his big
No.
three because I'm a Leo and I have Capricorn in
I
my
will
big
agree. It could be in his big three,
so
but he could
yeah.
not be a cusp.
No,
For the
no.
record, for those listening at home,
Yeah, I know I meant big three. That's
there you
totally what
go.
I meant.
It
Yeah.
could be his moon or his rising.
Yeah.
I could give you that.
We are
If
very
John if
well educated on this.
yeah, if John Nolan and I again my brain is like kind of mush too. So, but if
Yeah,
John Nolan and I were to have the same big three, I could see it. Actually, I
yeah.
could. Yeah.
So what for context? What's your other one? Or what is your three in a row?
So I'm a Leo sun. Wait, I gotta
Right.
look it up because I always forget. Leo sun,
Okay.
Capricorn rising, and Scorpio
Okay.
moon.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Cool.
don't really know like the difference between all those, but like I mean I could kind of see it when I'm like reading the characteristics. I'm like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
parts of all those. So
I go right down the sign. I'm a Leo, Virgo, Libra. So it's
ooh.
easy for me to
Oh,
remember. I
interesting.
go
Yeah.
like right down the line.
Wait, now I'm
So
curious, Holly, what's your big three?
Hold on. I have to pull it up because I have it in a
she's gonna
notes
have to
app
pull up
on my
CoStar
phone.
because she has no idea. But she's a
No,
Sagittarius.
I
Yeah.
have it in my notes app on my phone because I'm not educated on this and I just might need it sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah, like when there's those big three, like pick your big
Exactly.
three. Yeah.
On
Yes.
Yeah,
social
that's what I
media.
have
If I
mine
want
in
the
my
fun
phone too.
pictures or lyrics or
Hmm.
whatever chosen,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
But she is a Sagittarius sun. I do know that.
Yeah.
That's correct. Sagittarius sun, Aquarius moon, and Cancer rising. What does
Interesting.
it mean?
Interesting.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. Carrie, what's yours? I feel like I've seen it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Gemini sun, Leo moon, Sagittarius rising, and Taurus is for Venus. Yeah,
Oh,
Interesting.
okay.
four. Yeah.
Got some Leo in there. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. She's one of us. She's one of us
She's
in a
one of
way.
us.
In a
I'm the
way.
odd one out.
Listen, but Sagittarius and Leos
They mesh really
tend to get
well.
along really well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
They
I've
do.
also found out that Aquarius and Leo kind of get along. I mean, at least I do with my coworker, and she's an Aquarius, so
Yeah.
maybe it's just me and her. I don't know, but
Yeah.
um,
Continue
what
on.
a
Sorry.
oh yeah, no, we got off on a little tangent. It's fine. What about Bailey's astrological sign? I feel like she could fit into a couple of them. Carrie, what was yours?
I had a difficult time. Hers was like one of the last ones I did. Um, I mean, I've settled on Sagittarius just because of like the like free-spirited nature of her, and like Sagittarius, like that sign, at least according to the article. And hopefully my friend Kristen, if she's listening to this, doesn't like disagree with me. But they like to learn about everything and like just, and keep like be like lifelong learners almost. And I just felt like that kind of fit her because she's always exploring things and picking up new hobbies, new things. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I said Libra for her just because the social butterfly aspect. Like I feel like with her doing so much, she's obviously made a ton of friends. And she can kind of just like drop into any friend group and like automatically make herself at home. And then I said the ultimate host part. I don't know, we haven't like seen them host anything besides for that like night where they were trying to figure out Tim's new position. Um, and then I said the artistic and romantic parts, along with being a go-getter and dreaming big, are like for her. But yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of my thought. Holly, you had Sagittarius for her, right?
I did, based on
Yay.
what I read on Sagittarius. I
Uh-huh.
don't identify with this myself on most of them, but it seemed like it fit for her.
Yeah.
But I also thought, I feel like her and Selena are very similar.
Mm-hmm.
The other one I thought for her could be Pisces because of like the spirituality and everything. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brittany, I know like you
I'm
like
looking
we're kind of
up stuff now.
behind.
No, you're fine. Listen, I told you, winging it. I'll get it. I'll
No,
handle it.
I meant you were kind of behind on the rookie, so you had like a bunch of catching up to
Oh,
do.
yeah, I had a bunch of catching up to do, but I'm all caught up. Don't worry.
So like,
Um,
what did you think about Bailey, like in that time span of catching up? Because you had quite a bit to catch up on, right?
don't act like it was like 3 seasons. It was only half of a season.
Yeah, but
Don't
that's still a
confuse these
lot.
listeners.
That's
Like
still
I
a
had like
lot.
4 seasons.
Yeah.
Like I
No,
am
that's still a
behind on
lot.
certain other shows we won't name on this podcast.
Yeah.
I was only like 8 episodes behind. No,
Okay.
I love Bailey. I also think I am, and I reserve the right to change this, but I think I am also team Sagittarius.
Okay.
And I do think part of that comes from having a best friend for 15 plus years that is a Sagittarius.
Yeah.
That I feel
Me
like I
better.
know Sagittarius is a little bit better
Yeah.
than most people. And so I feel like I can and not with full confidence say that Bailey's a
Mhm.
Sagittarius, but I feel a little more confident in that pick than I do some of my other
Yeah.
ones that I'm gonna
Yeah.
come up with.
I feel like there's always kind of like two sides to it too. Like she could very
Oh,
well
for sure.
be like a huge Sagittarius and like meet someone else who is also a Sag and like they're not the same. Like I mean, you and I prove that like every day, Brittany.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
you're a
yeah, because we're both
Leo and
Leos, and
I'm not. So
yeah, there's two sides to I think every
mhm.
astrological sign. You have the like more dominant side, that has like some of those more dominant traits, right? And then you have ones that are like a little bit more reserved. And some people are like a mix of all of it,
Mhm.
but some people tend to take on more. And then obviously, yes, Leo, I feel like is always the best example. And obviously, it's even funnier with both of us being in here. It's like, yes,
Mhm.
I am, as the running joke in my friend groups is, I am the Leo's Leo to ever Leo. And then we have you who's like, yeah, I'm just gonna be over here in the corner. Like I'm cool.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's the same astrological sign, and we're only like a little over a week apart. So it's not even like, oh, I'm at the end of the sign and you're at the beginning. Like
Right.
we're pretty close
We're in the
to
middle,
the
pretty
middle
much. Yeah.
to like we're like pretty close to each other.
Mhm.
Um, and my other best friend who's like literally 6 days older than me is the same as you.
Yeah.
Is the same. So it's always interesting to me that
Mhm.
that two-sided coin. So I agree.
What about Tim Bradford's? I don't know. I feel like his was kind of easy looking at all the characteristics. I said Aries. Carrie, what did you say for Tim?
Yep, I said Aries.
Just the competitive nature.
Yep.
Holly, I think you said Aries too. So
I did.
what about
That's a clean
Lucy?
sweep. That's a clean sweep for
Yeah.
Aries.
Yeah, for sure. What about Lucy? Carrie, I think you had noted something about like hers was previously stated or something.
Well, just because like the cast did like they were asked like what they thought that their characters
Mm-hmm.
um astrological signs were, and when Melissa and Eric were asked, like obviously they're both Cancerians, and Eric had said that like Lucy would be a Cancer, just like Melissa. So I just kind of agreed just because of like the giving nature, the like, just they're very just nice and like sacrificing, like very yeah, just I mean, I don't know.
Like
It just
compassionate.
works.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought.
I said Cancer, but hints of Virgo too. Like it's probably in her big three because of the researcher characteristic and being detail
Mm,
oriented
I
and
could see
like
that.
really organized and analytical. Like, I don't know, she just strikes me as that. And we've seen her kind of like go all in on researching or detail oriented with the audiobook and stuff. So, Holly, I think you had said Cancer too. So we're pretty well aligned on that.
Mhm.
Jennifer's pretty straightforward across the board for all of
Yeah,
us.
it's
Yeah.
a Cancer for sure for me.
Yeah. Cancer and Aries. Now, would they be romantically or astrology like romantic kind of tied? Who knows? I don't know. I feel like you see different parts of that everywhere. So can't
Mhm.
really speak on that because it's different everywhere.
Yeah.
For Wesley, I said he was a Taurus because he's grounded and tenacious. So I don't know. I'm curious as to what everyone else said though. I think we were pretty across the board on this too.
Yeah, I mean, I said Taurus, just because of like the resolute and grounded and like more serious. Not that he's like boring because he's not, but just like, just very much like by the book. He just does like what he
Yeah.
needs to do, and like that's that.
I feel like we all have the same brain and thinking all of this. What about Angela? I said Capricorn because
Same.
of her dry sense of humor, but I don't know, she was a hard one for me to do for some reason. And then I read the description on Capricorn and I was like, that's it. Dry sense of humor, being pragmatic, having a grounded and steady approach that just kind of like fit her.
Something else I saw said for Capricorn, they're driven to succeed and loyal. So that pretty much
Hmm.
solidifies her for me.
Same.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, then I'm gonna be the outlier then, because I had said Aquarius for Angela, because she's like very much an individualistic person, like kind of well, cool, calm, and collected in like most scenarios. Definitely like a friend to everyone. But then I also just thought like the skeptical aspect
Hmm.
of Aquarius kind of fit her because she definitely doesn't necessarily go along with all conventions of how things are done, um, whether it's in work or, her personal life. Um, and she kind of it takes her a minute to warm up to ideas that are, she's not quite sure about. And she might
Yeah.
push back a little bit too with certain things. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I could see
I feel
that
like
with her.
she's one or the other, and the other is in her big three.
yeah.
And
Hmm.
I definitely now I'm like, ooh, Carrie might be right because I'm like reading this thing and it says at the end of the day, Aquarius is dedicated to making the world a better place. And if that's not Angela Lopez,
Yeah.
oof.
Wrong.
So I'm like, ooh, I kind of do want to lean a little more Aquarius. So
Yeah.
I
Converted.
She's probably like
yeah.
Aquarius, Sun, Capricorn, like I don't know, Moon or
I mean,
something.
well, and honestly, they're next to each other. She could be a
Hmm.
cusp
Yeah,
because
she
Mhm.
could be.
Capricorn and Aquarius are like, so she could be like January 20th and is like
Right.
on the cusp of Aquarius and
Yeah.
Capricorn. So she could be a cusper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next is James, which I feel like we covered this earlier. It's hard to know with him because seen we've seen a lot of him, but not like in depth. I said Virgo though, because of or no, actually I said Aquarius because the humanitarian part, like
Mm,
caring about his community, striking out against convention, thinking back to like when we first met him,
mm,
progressive,
that's fair.
skeptical, like all at the same time. I was looking at
Mhm.
Holly's list when I said that, so sorry, I just
Oh, you're good.
broke that. But I mean, you guys had like other ones for him, so share your thoughts, please. I'm curious.
Well, I had Aquarius, like you said. But I also had him down as Virgo for like service oriented.
That's what I said. Was
Okay.
Virgo because of service oriented.
Yeah, and he's always doing stuff for the community, so that kind of made sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see him being either one of those.
And like the others in his big three, of course, in some way.
Of course.
So
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
I had a couple for like the next few people, but
Oh, really?
Oh no, I
Yeah.
know who Nyla
Interesting.
Harper is. I'm with Holly. I'm staring at Holly's list, and I'm like, yep, that's. I don't even have to second guess. I know the zodiac sign of Sweet, but also, Nyla Harper.
yeah. I
That
didn't think
that
about
woman
that
is a
one.
Scorpio. I have a
Yeah.
father who's a Scorpio. That woman is a Scorpio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust.
She was
Because
one of the
Scorpios are
easiest.
like, you get on their bad side. That woman's a Scorpio.
Yeah.
See, she was a hard one for me. And then
Oh,
again, I read
really?
Capricorn and I was like, yeah, that's it. But reading Scorpio again, yeah, no, that's definitely her.
Oh, she was the first. She was the second one I put down. I put down Lucy Chen and Nyla Harper because, like Makia had said, well, Makia is a Scorpio
Mhm.
herself, and then she had said she thought Nyla was a Scorpio
Yeah.
as well, and so
That
I don't
woman's
know.
a
It just
Scorpio.
fits. Like I can't even really explain it. Just like the fierceness of that sign.
I feel like a lot of
Goes
them,
through.
a lot of the actors bring their like parts of their real selves in. So it's easy to kind of like put these astrology signs next to them, but then also know that like they're not completely that way, you know?
I mean,
Um,
you're always going to, especially after playing a
right.
character for so many years.
Oh
Like
yeah.
parts of you are going to permeate your character.
Yeah. Um, I said for Aaron, he was a Scorpio, but not because of like being like stubborn and stuff, but his air of mystery. Like he's able to like command people's attention with his past, but like there's still an intense air of mystery behind him. Maybe that's because we don't know a lot about his personality. Like we haven't dived deep into that, but um yeah, I don't know. It just kind of got like that was kind of one that I thought he could be a Scorpio on, but I don't know. There's other ones too, I'm sure. What did you guys say, Holly? What did you say?
I had Scorpio for the same reason where you said, like in the beginning, where there was like the mystery around who he really was.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that really fits more that we've gotten to know him.
Yeah.
The other one I had was Libra because it like the social aspect of it and then like standing up for what he believes in or what he wants. I don't he was a
Yeah.
hard one though, just because we
Yeah.
don't know a ton about him.
He's
Yeah.
another cusper. Libras and Scorpios are on the cusp.
So Brittany is our like resident knowledge expert on this apparently.
Yeah.
That's why you bring a
I
Leo
know
to the party.
nothing.
He has
Yeah.
to be a cusper. Like
Yeah,
because there are parts of
Libras and
him.
Scorpios are next to each other.
Yeah.
So it's Libra and Scorpio. So my guess is he's a Libra Scorpio cusp.
Mm-hmm. He's got to be because like you said, there was an air of mystery behind him when he first came, but now not so much. I mean, it still lingers, but yeah, he's definitely a
Yeah,
social guy.
it's because we got to know him, and like so
Mhm.
once you get to know him, that air of mystery is not nearly
Right.
as there because like we got to know him, the people at the precinct have gotten to know him, so
Mhm.
like there that air of mystery isn't there as much. He doesn't have to put up those walls as much,
Yeah.
and so that part of his personality, that side of him, has like broken down a little bit more.
Yeah. I'm curious what everyone said for Selena. I said Pisces because of her empathetic and artistic self, but I also said hints of Virgo. Like that could be in her big three. Being detail oriented and health conscious. Health conscious, like maybe in terms of spirit. So it's not really health conscious, but it's more like spiritually conscious. I don't know. She was like kind of hard because Pisces is spirituality and psychology. But I don't know, parts of the Virgo description got me with her too. So what did everyone else say?
I had Pisces as well. But then I also feel like Sagittarius because like spontaneous and
Mhm.
just kind of like free spirited. Let's go see what happens.
Yeah.
And it's Brittany.
Yeah, I definitely think she's Pisces. Like because of like the symbol, like the zodiac symbol for Pisces is the two fish, right? And
Yeah.
so, um, and for anyone that doesn't know, um, and it's like you're being pulled or you're in between fantasy and reality, and so it's very much that like ethereal and but you're empathetic and you're intuitive and um it's that fantasy reality, and that's very much like Selena. Like she is in the reality, but she's also like, like she had like not that crystals are fantasy, don't get me wrong. Like I
Hmm.
love me a crystal. But like she is very much like she's not like rigid where it's like I only believe facts and science and this. It's like no, like I believe in crystals and this healing power and that healing power. It's like that woman believes in like all these other things. And so I definitely think she's a Pisces.
Hmm.
So I don't know. She's another one that I was pretty confident in.
Yeah. For Gray, I originally had Gemini because he's witty and I feel like curious, but I mean, he's only curious in what everyone's doing and like they're causing chaos. Then I had hints of Capricorn and I was like, yeah, I mean, he's a leader though, so he's got to be disciplined. Then I thought Leo because I was like, a leader, he will take charge, he cares about his people. So I don't know. I'd be curious to know what everyone else said because he could, I don't know, for me at least be three of them. Those could be his big three. I don't know. What did you say, Holly?
This is interesting. This is like the only one on my list that is totally different from yours. Like completely. I had Libra for him.
Oh, I
Like
could see
fairness
that.
and justice
Hmm.
oriented.
Yeah, or like
I feel like
balance too.
with his job
Yeah.
and then like standing up for what he believes in and like his team of people and everything.
Hmm.
Harry, what did you say?
I said Leo just because of the leadership qualities and the confidence. Like if there's one thing that he's sure about, it's that he can do his job and do it well and like protect his team. So yeah, I don't know. Ugh. I was so bummed out though, because like literally I couldn't think of any of the characters that were Geminis. And as a Gemini, that
Hmm.
like bummed me out.
Brittany is our like outspoken Leo. What do you think about Gray? Is he a Leo?
As I say, as the smirk on my face would tell you, I have to agree. I think I'm leaning a little more towards that he is a Leo.
Hmm.
He's not like in your face Leo, but he's definitely a little bit more. I feel like he's a for those people that would know both of us, I feel like he's a mix between you and I.
Yeah,
Like he's a
for
nice
sure.
balance of the two of us. Um, and so I feel like he's a Leo, but I feel like I have to agree with Holly that he like a Libra is probably in his big three.
Hmm.
Again,
Yeah.
as someone who also has Libra in their big three. Um, so I actually agree with that. I think that he's like a Leo sun with
Hmm.
like a Libra moon because it's probably a little bit closer
Yeah.
and affects it a little bit more than than like a Libra rising. Um, so that's my thought. But it's I think the Libra's in there. It's either a rising or a moon. So
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Libra and Leo are both in his big three. It's just a matter of which one is like the sun. And then,
yeah.
what one he kind of gravitates more towards. So,
Agreed.
Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of it. And we just had fun like figuring out or guessing, guesstimating which would be love languages and astrological signs. So, what are you guys excited for in season 6 of The Rookie? Like, what are you hoping to see since we're 2 weeks out?
I'm just happy we're gonna have television back. If you're asking us, I'm just
And
happy
we're
to have
gonna
new
have
TV
what?
back.
Oh, television. Yeah.
We're having new television back,
Yeah.
so
I'm
I mean it'll
excited.
be nice to have. I mean, obviously as the one who's probably seen the show most recently, having just caught up on it. I mean, I'm excited to see where they take, the like baby cliffhanger. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
we all know Aaron lives, but like maybe it's a fake out. I don't think it is. But
Right.
I'm excited. I'm excited for their 100th episode. Um, I'm excited to see where they take Jenford. Um, I'm excited to see Bailey and Nolan get married. Just because I feel like that's always a big step, right? But then it means we get, everybody dressed up in fancy clothes and at a big party, and so you don't always get to see all of them together.
Yeah.
And especially not like dressed up without like the stress, because the last time I feel like the last 2 times we've had weddings, there's been stress, right? Like, Angela and Wesley's wedding was stressful, and I feel like Nyla and James's wedding was stressful. And so hopefully it won't be nearly as stressful, but it's always nice to see them all together. So I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to those, and then we'll see what happens. I'm gonna enjoy this 10 or 13 episode ride we've got, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see like just because we've had a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So I can't wait to see all that like come to life on screen. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun. Um, Carrie, I don't think we have any other notes. Do you want to wrap us up?
Oh, sure. So with that, you guys can find us on Twitter at the Shop Talk Pod _, or you can always email us at shoptalktherookiepodcast@gmail.com with all of your thoughts. And we are also individually on Twitter as well. I'm at Carrie Hyman.
And I'm at jstark804. And Brittany and Holly, where can we find you guys on social? If you want to share.
You can find me on social at Holly M1289 on all platforms.
And I am also on all the platforms: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, all the things. At btrain06. So my brand is strong. It's on all the things. So btrain06.
And Brittany and Holly also watch other TV shows too. So it's not just The Rookie that they're tweeting
No, I
about.
watch an obscene amount of television, particularly Station 19. So if you want to yell about that, please come yell about that with me. I also watch sports. And as the resident queer of the group, if you watch anything that's queer or gay, please come yell at me about that.
Brittany's brand is strong. So
It is. If
yeah.
it's first responder, if it's gay, I'm in. Let's go.
We're also on TikTok at the Shop Talk Podcast _. And we'll be back next week with our wish list episode and recapping the season 5 finale as a refresher, because I don't know about you, but I don't remember a whole lot of it. So it's been too long.
Because I watched it recently.
It's been too long. So
I need to rewatch it.
yeah.
I'll probably rewatch it. So
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna plug, because Jen said I could, that because she's on my team, so I'm not
Go for
technically
it.
completely taking over. That in addition to my own personal socials, that myself and Holly and my friend and co-owner Jenny and I have a company called Shine Our Light Events. So you can find us on most social medias at Shine Our Light 19, except on Instagram. We're still fighting for our handle, but it's on there. It's Shine Our Light Events. And so we're working on eventually getting some events off the ground. It'll be celeb-based events. But you can find us over there. We've got merch. But our first event that we're working on trying to get off the ground is Station 19 based. But we are looking forward to, at some point in the future, trying to have a rookie con. Nothing is set in stone yet. Don't come for me, please.
Yes.
But please come give us a follow, give us a like, give us a shout out, because we do have things that we want to get in the works, and we'd love the support. So that's my plug.
Yep. Like Brittany said, because I'm on the team as well, we're not just looking at Station 19 stuff in the future.
No.
So, I mean, everything is fair game, really. So,
yeah, who knows what we're going to come up with? The ideas that we have swirling as a team are pretty great and pretty fun. So
yeah.
come join
I mean,
the
we kind of
ride.
have our second idea already.
Second and
like,
third, I think,
brewing.
because
Ooh.
Fifth. I don't know.
I mean, who knows what Jen and I will decide is which one goes second, which one goes third. So who knows? Come join us for the ride.
Yeah.
Come shine your light with us. And,
Join the chaos. Because
it
it
is
is chaos.
but it's chaos, but it's fun.
It's
If you
Yeah,
have
I was
nice.
just
TikTok
gonna say
ideas,
it's very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
apparently I am the TikTok person. So please send them my way. Or send them to Jen so that she can tell me what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm gonna be the face of our brand, I guess.
I'm the mom keeping everybody in line.
It's true. And making sure that I eat and
Sleep.
hydrate and sleep.
Yeah.
I guess that's the thing I have to do.
Yeah.
But thank you. Thanks for having us. It was just fun.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks for
no,
inviting.
it was really fun. Thank you guys for coming on like so last minute. I texted you last night or something and you came on today. So
Mhm.
yeah. You
Listen,
guys,
this is what you do for your best friends.
1 a.m. You know.
yeah.
No, it was I think only 11:30 because I had woken up. So, but this is
okay.
what you do for
Yeah.
your best friends. You hop on. You're like, sure, I'm
Yeah.
free. Let's go.
Well, I figured you guys would see it when you wake up, so it was fine. But yeah, no, I
Very much
appreciate you
appreciated.
guys. Love the
We'll
squad.
go.
So
Yep.
yeah.
We'll go so we can let grandma over there go to bed.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Go get him, boo.